the calf raises, one big fuck off set, drop sets, rest pauses, fucking all the failure, blood flow restricted bands. You gotta force the muscle to grow. Remember what CT Flexor used to say? Hey man, you gotta make them, I don't even remember how you sound. Man, you gotta force them muscles to grow, man. Shit, you gotta make them fucking, god damn, man, we gotta make them fucking muscles grow, dude. I can't remember how he sounded. Anyway, shout out to CT Flexor. Didn't he die? Didn't that bloke have a heart attack? And then he came back to life. He had like an Asian lady's heart, and he was like, yeah, they, she, like, he has like visions of like her sometimes, like he hears her voice. It's like, what the fuck happened to CT Flexor? Now he's all fat. And he says it was all the burgers because he was a lifetime natural, guys. CT Flexor steroids? I don't think so. 700-pound bench press, 140 kilo muscle at 6'1". I don't think so. I think that's all natural to me. That's just all that McDonald's that made him have a heart attack. But that dude's a champion, and he's right. You gotta force the muscles to grow. I actually can't remember how he sounds. It's been like damn near 10 years since I last heard DC Flexor. DC Flexor? Fuck it, whatever, man. Oh shit, I'll do a rest pause. Is it DC Flexor, or is it, fuck man, I feel like MC Flexor or something. DC, no, it must have been DC. It was DC, right? What do you think? Put a pretty fucking jacked back, this dog. I saw that tug of war. I gave him nucleus overload when he was a little pup. Would play tug of war every single day, and he'd like push away, get him really fucking pulling and pushing with his pecs and his triceps and his teres minor and major. He's got thick fucking muscular back, got some thick fuck off quadriceps and glutes. I only feed him kangaroo. You don't want to feed your dog fucking meat. Oh, sorry, kibble. I mean, I feed him a bit of kibble, but mostly just meat. He's fucking jacked like me. All right, drop set. Oh, shit. Fuck. I'll do one more drop set. Oh. Goodness me. Oh. recording. I was live recording and then it just stopped. My mic stopped working. So here's the rest of the video in live narration. I did a few sets of fucking shrugs, and I'm just finding all kinds of weird way to do shrugs while I still recover my left bicep until I can fully straighten my arm out and actually load that arm. Can't wait to be able to do dumbbell and fucking barbell shrugs again. This shit just feels so goofy, man. Having like these straps cutting down into my fucking shoulders and fucking, I don't know, just shit hurts. Don't feel comfortable, but I got to train my shrugs. I got to do my traps rather, because they just don't grow. And I've grown a little bit, especially since I switched to high intensity, but I want to maintain as much of that growth as I can. So I don't want to just like skip traps entirely. If I had any semblance of good trap genetics, I'd skip them for a little bit and then I start training them again. But you guys can see I don't have just about any traps to be seen. So I've got to do my shrugs. And, you know, I keep fucking trying to figure out like the key for traps for me. Like I think there's just keys for hypertrophy for individuals. Some things will work perfectly fine. You're genetically inclined, or they just work in general. A lot of things just work for arms, right? A lot of things just work for, you know, shoulders or whatever. But even then, you know, it took me a long time to find the key for my shoulders. And I'm trying to find the key for my traps. And until I find that, I don't know. But, I mean, there was one thing I was doing today, which is neck curls. And I was trying to find the key for that. And I was thinking about it. You'll see in a second. When I do neck curls, yeah, when you're using a plate-loaded neck curl, you start using your hands to basically assist the weight. Because if you don't hold onto the plate with your hands when it's on your forehead, it just fucking falls off your head, right? It takes your nose with it. So you got to hold onto that plate. But that's not really ideal, because then you can't standardize the neck curl. And I've had a hard time progressively overloading the neck curl. Even though my neck has gotten bigger, I still have a hard time progressively overloading it, because as you can see, I'm hanging onto this plate. And over time, it's hard to tell, last session, did I use more or less resistance to hold onto this plate? And so today I tried doing a new variation of neck curls where I do it with a cable. That way I could standardize it and perhaps be able to actually honestly progressively overload it, rather than being this like, what I would call apart from calling these false regressions and false progressions, this is kind of a limbo of progression. Like you don't really know if you're going anywhere, because you're at behest of your hand's assistance. So I did another neck curl variation today to see if that was a key to unlock even more gains. Because if you're trying to unlock these keys for gains, like you might have an exercise that's working pretty well, you're getting good gains, but there might be an exercise that's even better. It could mean twice the amount of gains than you've already been having, and the gains you've been having are all right. So imagine if you doubled them, right? Well, same thing with what I'm doing right here with my neck. I'm like, all right, well, it's hard to progress, so it's time to try an experiment with a new variation. So that's what I did. It was a bit goofy. My neck was too pre-exhausted to really get much out of it, but you'll see it in a second. Man, the fucking exposure on this camera is crazy. This looks like a 1990s snuff film or some shit, like one of those, like, you know, those like 1990s movies where they try to make it look like a, what do you call them? They're called found footage films. Yeah, that's the one. That looked like one of those for a second. But here I'm doing a cable neck curl, because I might be able to progressively overload this more effectively and thus get more gains. So I'll have to experiment with this one, because it wasn't quite good enough. And I don't think my neck harness is very well designed for this. I don't know if I have the leverage is right. But again, it's just a work in progress. You just got to experiment until you find those variations that are ideal. Like recently, I bought that hack squat machine. All of a sudden, my fucking leg development blasted through the roof. And yeah, it cost fucking, you know, money. I had to buy a machine. I had to make space for the machine. But, you know, I think it was like I can't remember. Like, let's say, I think it was about $650. It would have been even more potentially, but it was absolutely worth every dime, because now my legs are growing. I spent a few $100 and now I get leg growth. So same thing could happen for traps, for example. I might need to find the right exercise for traps, or maybe I have to spend a bit of money to buy a trap machine, and I'm willing to do that. If you have to spend a few $1,000s to develop a big fucking hefty muscle, I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I don't know. I tried that neck curl and that was all right, and I'll experiment further upon that. And if I can get standardized progressions on my neck curls, that'd be fucking sweet. What else am I doing? Just doing my normal neck routine now. These side neck curls, I don't really think there's anything better than what I'm already doing. It's not ideal, I don't think, but it's better than nothing. This is a very fucking hard exercise to standardize or get a good resistance curve on, or generally just feel the muscle in general well. Ideally, I'd have a machine for this, but anywho, I mean, ideally, I'd have a machine for fucking every muscle in the body. I much prefer machines 99% of the time. There are occasional exercises here and there where I prefer body weight or dumbbell or barbell, but it's very seldom. I generally prefer machines because you can standardize way easier and you can target the muscle easier. You get better stimulus to fatigue ratio on machines. So if I could get like a neck exercise machine, that'd be sick. Maybe I needed to invest in a better neck harness. Maybe I'll get one of those iron necks. They're like a few $100, but I don't know if they're even really worth it. But maybe I'll look into it because every little percentage counts. You get complacent. You go, oh, well, this exercise works pretty well. What's to say there isn't a better way of that exercise or a better version of that exercise or a better exercise entirely? So, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. And maybe it's time to overhaul my neck and trap training because I don't really enjoy training neck and traps. And part of that, I think, is because I intrinsically know what I'm doing isn't 100% optimal. And thus it might be time for a change. And that, I don't know, maybe I have to buy a machine or, I don't know, neck machines are probably pretty rare though. Hey, like buying a neck machine is a bit of a fucking tall order. Not that many people are that interested in buying a full-fledged machine for neck. I would, I don't give a shit, but average individual with a home gym's probably more interested in just using a neck harness and getting 85% efficiency. That's fine by me, fine by them, but for me, I want 100% optimal, stimulus for my muscles because that can mean the difference between fuck all gains and a shit ton of gains. Anyway, that's it for today. The video is about to end, so whatever. I haven't got much to talk about. Peace out, bye.